Now, as you guys go back to talking, trying to maybe decide what you're going to do next, Tani, you look across the room. You see Sarana has returned, but she's currently in conversation with Ganda. They're just having a little, not fireside, but definitely a little chat in the corner with each other about whatever really. And as you guys are, returning to your seats and scooting up a bit closer to each other, probably Barnack joining in the middle. Core, you're probably no, sorry, Ternock, of course. You're probably the first to notice. Looking towards the doors, you see a figure in a heavy cloak, pulled like the hood pulled over their heads, a little shorter than average for a human, walk in, and I mean, for you, it's immediate. You see the insignia on the chest, incredibly familiar. He starts to walk forward. He pulls back the hood, and you indeed see this face of a human who has seen many battles. And as he approaches the middle of the room, you notice that the lizard folk also gets up, and the drunken dwarf at the bar, at notice from Droman, also gets to his feet. Additionally, behind the man who just walked in, you see that the guardswoman from the front desk is currently closing the left door, and she stands by the right, and she just kind of raises her voice, and she announces to the whole brothel, "All right, sorry to say, folks, but it's time to clear out for a bit. We're gonna have to do some maintenance. Please be on your way, and we'll be open again shortly." And all of the patrons, either currently about to go and pay for some time with someone or having just returned, all get up, kind of chatting to each other, confused, and they go to leave. You definitely see some expectant eyes upon the four of you as this is happening. And the half-orc stands by the door, guiding everyone out as they pass her by.
And well, does he notice me? I'm guessing
He
yes,
doesn't seem to
right?
notice you, actually, because his eyes of the man that had just entered are on Clement. And he immediately crosses the room, gets to one knee beside Clement, and puts a hand on his shoulder and starts talking with him in a very quiet voice, seeming to encourage him. And you see Clement kind of puts his attention on the older man, and they start speaking very quietly in whispers. Clement's head still hanging, but they seem to be taking some kind of counsel together. For whatever reason, your master, Cornarian, as you know him, doesn't seem to take notice or doesn't seem to mind that something is occurring right now.
Mhm. I turn to Drummond and I say, "What's the deal, Drummond? What's the issue here?"
Oh, there's nothing to worry yourselves about. Just be on your way. Give us about 30 minutes, and if you want some more service, then just come back then. Yeah.
Um, um, yes. I'm really sorry to say I don't even know how to begin to say it, but I don't think I'm going anywhere, sir. I'm sorry, but I've seen this sort of movement happening before, and I I have no other option other than not allow you to do any harm to that old man. Do you give me a one moment for me to talk to him, perhaps?
As you say these words, he kind of stops and he realizes you're intending to interfere with what's happening, and he just kind of stares at you. What the fuck are you talking about? Did you know that guy?
Yes, sir. I do know him.
Fine, then go talk to him. We'll rough him up after, but you need to leave. You don't want to be a part of this. Trust me. Look at them. And he points over to Gret, the dwarf, as he points out, and the lizard folk, and he says, "That one's called Blood Drinker. You don't want to get in his way. This is exactly what he does for a living. But you can have your minute." And he like waves over some attention from the lizard folk, and just kind of holds up a pause sign as people are leaving anyway. Um, But he looks over at the others and he says, to Kor, to Barnack, to Tani, well, you guys should definitely leave. You don't want to be a part of this. And it looks like your friend's going to drag you into it if you stay. Okay.
Yeah,
It's just regular business. You should
I just look at them. I just look at that Tani for and
What do you want
Barnack.
us to do?
Well, we all live together after I talk to him. Okay, because I have a feeling that we're not going to pick up this fight. At least you should not pick up this fight, but I will if needed. And I just had up, and I don't want to interrupt the conversation, but I'm definitely going to be close enough for at least one of them to notice.
Okay. It's definitely him himself, right? And as you come close enough, I want to ask the rest of the group first. What would you like to do? I will say Barnack follows the lead of Korantani, so okay, one moment.
Kevin, would you kindly type the name for me?
Wait, you hold on, let me see.
I don't
I will
think
make
I
it
have-
available. I will make it available, don't worry.
Okay.
That should help. Yes.
Cornarian. Yeah.
Yeah, Cornarian. So he has a threefold name, and that's obviously the reason that he's a master, or rather the other way around. He's a master, and that's why he has a threefold name. If you like, I can also tell you what it means. By the way, just a second.
I do want to know.
It means Silver Heart, Blade of Grass, Servant of All.
In what language?
In Draconian as well.
Mm.
He chose it in Draconian for different reasons, obviously, than you did, but those are his names. Silver Heart, Blade of Grass, Servant of All. And those three correspond to the three names that he has. But for short, you can usually call him KO. That's just what he goes by, in everyday
KO.
life. Yeah, KO, because obviously this is a bit long to say in full. But yeah, so you get closer, and KO kind of looks up and stops for a moment, and he says something more to Clement, and then squeezes his shoulder, and he gets up face to face with you. He looks over at the others that are squaring up to fight with him. He looks back at you, and then he just extends an arm, for that soldier's greeting, like grabbing each other by
That's what I wanted to suggest. Like
Yeah.
that was
So like the arm just comes forward, and as soon as you grab it, like he takes it first and just looks upon you proudly and seriously with the one good eye, and then his hand slides back and he briefly grabs onto your arm as well and just pulls you close into like a very quick hug. He slaps you kind of on the back and looks at you again. Well, fancy that. I hadn't expected to meet you here.
Yes, and I didn't expect to meet you here of all people, but I was definitely expecting you. Ironically.
So, what brings you here, outlaw? And he kind of looks upon you proudly again. But definitely also tells you some news, right? You've been declared an outlaw officially, which is quite a change from when you left.
Okay. Well, I imagine that right now, and I look over to the other folks and to people preparing to square him up. I think I'm trying to avoid to get into a fight, but I think the details of what exactly I'm doing here we can discuss after we are done with the situation, and I hope to make this quick, Lester. Let's not pick this fight.
He kind of looks around for a moment at the others, and he smirks a little bit, and he opens, like he undoes the cloak near the neck, and he throws it back, and like he's got just a simple vest on, where you're supposed to wear the vest over a shirt, but he's just got the leather vest on, so like his muscles just show, and like he's an old guy, but just pumped to the brim with muscle, and he kind of steps aside a little bit. I don't think we're going to be able to avoid this fight, Ternock, my boy. They've been paid.
Yes, sir.
They've been paid to draw blood, and they're going to draw blood. Now, I can stand up to this, and win or lose, it'll be worth it. And he kind of looks down at Clement for a moment. But you don't have to join me. You can wait. And whatever happens, just talk to me afterwards. I'm sure I'll get back on my feet.
I'll always fight by your side, master. And I grab my glass that I currently have on my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I chug whatever remains.
Okay.
I throw it on the ground and I unsheath my sword.
When you go to unsheath the sword, he just puts a hand on yours, and he nods to them, and you see none of them have drawn a weapon, and they're just cracking their knuckles.
Ah, okay. I see. Just like back in the barracks, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
He kind of looks at the glass that you threw, and like Droman just kind of comes forward from behind the bar, and you just see him like his arms spread, like, "What are you doing? That's really rare glass. Do you know how much I paid for that? You owe me 10 gold."
Yeah, I can cover it. Yeah.
Now get out of the way, you fool. Just let them deal with the old man who refuses to leave, and everyone will be properly dealt with. Just get out.
Unless you tell me to leave, master, I'm not leaving your side in battle.
He just kind of looks at you, and he looks proud, right? But he plays the neutral card. He says, "I think the time for me to tell you what to do is long past, Ternock. You do whatever you feel is right."
Okay, so I'm going to brawl.
All right. So, as the third guard or the other guard closes the door, like not looking, she's already kind of moving forward. You guys see a brief flit of a figure slipping inside the chamber again, and standing way in the back, unnoticed by anyone but you guys who are his friends, is Jean-Jacques, who had seemingly noticed KO entering just as he was leaving. So, with that door closed, now exits, or rather ends the opportunity for anyone to leave. But I want to ask, what do Barnack, Cor, and Tani do?
While you do so, I'm going to refuel because this is the good.
Oh no, I was beginning to like this place. I don't want to be enemies. How about we jump at Ternock's defense if he's losing?
That'll be up to you and Cor. You are the two sitting there talking. Barnack's not going to contribute.
Cor's already without a shirt.
Cor, as you disrobed and like took your armor off and you put your sword to the side, you just hear from one of the booths that's like they're open, like the door is still open, but sitting in there is the half elf that you were talking to earlier, and you just hear like a loud wolf whistle coming through as you take off your clothes.
I put my clothes back on. No, just kidding.
Like, think about it. Fuck it.
Is Drummond where he is right now, Kevin?
Yeah, he's returned to behind the bar. It's kind of his guard against this whole issue as well. And she doesn't notice you, but Serana also kind of like tiptoes and joins him behind the bar, standing on a stool to observe the fight. It seems that they're taking bets as well now. Dromon reluctantly, Serana seems more amused than anything by the entire event.
Do I let this? Does it? If I quickly glance at these, do they have like murder in their eyes, or is this a lesson type of situation?
Make an insight check, because you're of course looking at them from behind, and you haven't been able to follow the conversation that well.
Yeah. 19.
Definitely looks a lot more like a lesson. It's going to be a severe lesson. Like that lizard folk does not look like he's messing around. But it doesn't look like they're trying to murder anyone. They just want to teach him the lesson and kick him out.
Yeah. So seeing that, I'll move ahead and I'll just kind of put my hands up in the air and I'll address Dromon and be like, Master Dromon, came back to retrieve my friends, and I see that the situation has devolved quite severely since the time I left. If I understand it correctly, you want to teach this man a lesson and kick him out?
Yes!
May I propose a different situation that requires less, and I look at the lizard folk, blood being let? Can we just take him out of here and out of your hair, and none of your fine furniture or establishment needs to suffer any form of damage? Because I'm sure that once these wonderful folks clash, it's going to be quite a ruckus.
So you're making this suggestion at the same time, like having thrown off the cloak, he's like stretching, and he comes forward and he just squares himself up maybe 10 feet in front of the lizard folk, and he looks over at you and he says, "Sir, don't know who you are, but this is happening." And he just faces off.
The master does?
Yeah, the master does.
And then I look at him and I look at Ternock and I kind of shrug and be like, I think the dude needs a lesson, man. And they're just going to sit at the bar and they put five gold on the 3 ruffians.
Okay.
I just turn to Jean-Jacques and I say, "Oh boy, you're gonna have a fun time. Pay close attention to this."
And
When I see John Jack place a bet, I'll take 2 gold out, like 2 gold on us.
Okay, wait, I need to record some bets here.
and I relax into my chair. I'm like, yeah, I'm not intervening.
And I look at Tanya and was like, "You're not intervening, Tanya."
Yeah, nope.
No, and by the way, Tani, if she decided to intervene, she would be the most.
She would
OP
kick-
thing out there. She would kick
Right.
everybody's ass.
Yeah, she would
Everyone's
kick
ass.
everybody's ass, yes. That's what I said.
Alright, so just to clarify, if you're not a tavern brawler or unarmed fighting style, you will do, I think it's 1 plus your strength modifier in damage with unarmed strikes. So keep that in mind. You do normal, you can just click on your strength thing because you're not proficient in unarmed strikes.
Yeah.
You can handle it that way.
Just click on strength to it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just getting into this with the hopes that I won't die. Like, I don't think I'll kick anybody's ass, but I can take a beating well, so that's all right.
Okay.
I
Don't
take
think
many
he'll kill ya.
punches.
1 second. Oh, no, that's not right. There we go. Okay. So, as you guys square off against each other, Core, you can join them. So, Cornarian actually places himself ahead of you. Do you want to complete the symmetry, Ternock?
Yes, I
alright, so you all each kind of stretch. Jean-Jacques, you've joined them at the bar. I will say you and Sorana both agree. Actually, no, Sorana is going to put, let's say, 2 gold on your friends as well.
Interesting.
And you've got, let's say it comes down to 4 gold because nobody's bet 5 gold so far.
Yeah, I can bet 2. Let's put it like that. So everybody's bet 2.
Yeah, so 2.
Seeing that everybody's betting less, I'll bet 2.
Alright, and JJ, 2 gold. Not bad, guys. Alright. At this point, KO looks a little to the left, looks to the right, looks ahead. He just takes a combat stance, extends his hand, and he says, "Do what you must." And we'll roll initiative. So, please, those of you who are engaging, please roll initiative. And make sure to select your token when you do.
I did not. Oh.
Uh-oh.
I
Pick
do a
the
quick
Damn.
cantrip and I cast dancing lights ahead of the group and I just have them do a swirl. So it's
Okay.
like a disco brawl.
Okay. Very stylish. Okay. So, let's see here. Alright, Kith, the half-orc, is the first to jump into action, and as she does, just immediately she kind of dodges left, she dodges right, and she just goes for a quick right hook screaming primarily as she does, and as she screams, you notice that the bear tattoo that like goes all the way to the top of her eyebrows just gets this like dark glow to it for a moment as it starts here and it just shudders down the rest of her body, and she goes for the
Bear totem bard.
left, right.
I'm not going to be able to hit her. It's going to be impossible.
You'll hit her, not for much though.
All right, so the first one is an 11, so that doesn't hit you, I believe.
No.
And the second one is a 13. Wow. So both strikes, like, she tries to get at you, but both times you just manage to kind of block it, you know. I think you were still wearing your armor, right? So you just kind of block it with the armor, making sure that it doesn't hurt you too bad. Ternock, it's your turn.
I'm going to punch her in the face.
All right. There you go.
Cast face punch.
Yeah. So just strength, right?
Yes.
Well, 19.
Wow. That hits. So that's
and
1
I
plus
know
your
that I was
strength.
pretty lucky there. My strength is 18. It's a plus
So 4, so that's 5 damage goes down to 2. So you block both strikes, right? And as you go to punch her back, she doesn't even try to get out of the way. She takes it on the jaw, and you literally don't even feel her face moving. Like she just and just kind of pull back. It seems like it,
stuff, right?
Yeah, it almost feels like it hurt your knuckle more than it hurt her. But you have another attack, I believe.
Yes, I do actually. Let me just check. Just 1 second.
You can use their action surge. That's
No,
what you're
Use your
yeah,
action
I know I-
surge and
No. I was just wondering, where are my my thingies that describes how many attacks I have? Where is this?
It's called extra attack.
Yeah.
Should
But
be
I don't
bottom
have
right.
any here right now. Like
I mean, it
don't
doesn't
know
matter.
why.
You have an extra attack. We know that. So.
It's only 1, right? It's 2 at this
Yeah,
level.
basically you
It's
take the
2,
attack action, you get to attack twice instead of once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
20.
Can we cast spells?
That hits as well.
Other spells?
That's up to you. I mean, nobody said there's no rules agreed.
No rules. Right?
The only rules so far that you've observed is that everybody seems to be fighting with their fists. But you know.
Yeah.
So that's another 2 points of damage.
I mean, you can,
Yeah.
but
It might escalate the situation. You don't know. But like you go for the first strike. She's completely impossible to be moved. You go for the second. You try to like do an uppercut, and like again, it just kind of grazes her jaw. You do scratch a bit of the skin away. She starts to bleed a tiny amount, but she just like keeps glaring at you, and you see kind of this immense spiritual depth in her eyes. It's like looking into another world. Yeah, she is mostly unmoved by the events. And yeah, you've heard the tale of Tani fighting a barbarian similar to this, and you now realize what she must have faced at that time. The Blood Drinker. The Blood Drinker will immediately, in quite a similar fashion, but much more rugged and angry, will dash forward and take one unarmed strike against KO, and the other one, he feints with the punch and then just goes for a bite into the shoulder.
Oh, so he drinks blood. Literally. Wow.
Nice.
And yes, he will, as part of his right, hold on. This is a fighter I'm not familiar with. Okay, yeah, no, that's not yet, but he will definitely hit with the unarmed strike. The bite, KO manages to kind of catch the jaw and push it aside before it can connect with his body. But the strike definitely hits, and you kind of hear this dull thud, almost as if somebody had just smashed something really, really heavy into the floor as they connect. And that unarmed strike will do 11 bludgeoning damage to KO. Alright. Gret is going to immediately jump forward as well at you, Core. And he is going to, like, as he comes forward, he's not quite jumping as dexterously as the other two. He kind of stumbles forward. But every time he stumbles, drunkenly, he catches himself very nimbly on his toes. And as he does, like, he kind of stumbles. You think, is he going to fall into me? And then suddenly, he comes with a punch, and then with the second one. So, I'm going to go for the 1-2 against Core.
Damn.
So, I always hit you so hardcore. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So that will be a total of 21 points of bludgeoning damage. As without your armor, which you're used to, like your fighting style incorporates your armor quite heavily.
Yeah.
And this dwarf looked drunk as hell, so this is quite unexpected. As he connects probably like once with your liver and the other one just on the other side of your torso, and just poof, you kind of fall back and you immediately see like the bruising start, your skin turning even darker where you've been hit, and definitely does not interact well with the alcohol you've consumed so far.
One question: I didn't have full health.
Yeah, though,
Yeah.
you guys took some damage last time. I don't remember from what exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, not sure.
I think it's from 2 sessions ago, from like before the break, because this day has been going on for a while.
All right.
All right.
Damn.
So KO is
21.
Yes, 21 total. KO is going to retaliate, and he is going to one moment. Yes, he is just gonna start punching right away, and he comes in with pretty much the same exact combo that Kith threw at you, Ternock. And you know, like, this guy can fight. He's well versed in all of the combat styles. He's also immediately going to use his fighting spirit to give himself advantage on his attack rolls, because his unarmed strikes count as weapon attacks for him. So that's 2 hits. Alright, so that's 12 points of bludgeoning damage as he strikes back at the lizard folk, and like you see one of the teeth out of the lizard folk's mouth just get scattered across the floor, and they both kind of stumble back in the direction that the lizard folk came from. Core, it's your turn.
Okay. I'll look at the dwarf like surprised, like, what the hell just happened? And I'm gonna hit him.
All right, go for it.
Or try to hit him at least.
That's a strength saving throw. You need to click on strength.
Oh yeah,
alone.
yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
All right. The first punch that you try to throw, like you're still reeling, and he actually catches it like between 2 hands as he's kind of like drowsily rotating in place, and he catches it between 2 hands and just guides it past himself and continues. Almost. What would you like to do next? You have another attack.
Yeah. I'll try to hit him again. Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. So as you come again, he just kind of it's almost like he times it on purpose, but he just kind of hiccups, and he hiccups himself out of the way of your second punch. And he just kind of looks up at you. Gonna have to try harder than that.
And
yeah,
I'm not even paying too much attention to him. Like, I'm not angry because I'm like watching the half orc, and I'm just like, I have blood in my mouth, I guess, from the hits, and I just smile at her.
Okay.
Like, hey.
She just kind of like, she's in the middle of fighting Ternock. She's got like this wild rage about her. She looks in your direction for a moment, and you just see a feral spirit fighting. Like she's not in a state of mind to really appreciate that, but she definitely takes notice of you. So whatever that may mean.
That's not gonna be good.
So she, after taking notice of Core, is immediately going to dive into reckless attacks against you again, Ternock, and she is going to, yeah, like I said, reckless. So attacks against her have advantage, but she also gets advantage. Whew.
Yeah.
For a total of 14 bludgeoning damage. So she's just like unloading.
Doesn't get rage damage?
Oh yeah, I thought it was turned on. Oh, it is turned on. It is in there. No, it's not. Why is it not in there? Yeah, so actually add 4 to that, so that'll be 18 bludgeoning damage. Or is it?
Or you got 2 gold running on this.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so sorry, 4 more. I don't know why Roll20 isn't adding it for now. Interesting. But yeah, so again, you kind of get pummeled and pushed back as this is happening. Ternock, that makes it your turn.
Yeah, so 2 attacks,
All right.
plus action surge, plus 2 attacks. So I'm just going to click strength 4 times, okay?
Okay.
And I actually...
You have advantage, so you don't have to fighting spirit or anything.
Yeah. Oop. God damn, son! What is this?
All of that hits, and
Sheesh.
you know, for the crits, I'm gonna say, because you can't like crits on regular unarmed strikes, right? It's just it would double the 1. In this case, instead of doubling anything, I'm gonna give you a D8 to roll for those crits.
D8. So it's going to be like, it's like 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage, and 1 D8 now, right?
Well, it's gonna be two times because you crit twice, so twice you can roll a D8, plus your
2d8.
strength, obviously.
So 1 D8. That's my strength.
Okay, so that's
So 6.
so you've done for the non-crits you've dealt 8 damage. No, sorry, 10 damage plus 6 here is 16.
Plus...
Wow, that's
Fuck.
unfortunate because you rolled exactly what you got with the regular calculation of the crits.
Yeah.
The universe was like, no, Kevin.
Yeah.
No.
But that still makes 11 damage total.
Wow. Hooray.
As you kind of unleash against her, you try like some martial arts techniques. You know, you're not the most experienced unarmed fighter, but you definitely have seen a lot of people train in this sort of combat, and you've seen tavern brawls happen, and you try to apply damage to some pressure points. You hit her very well, but every time that you hit her on this like critical point where, you know, like the liver or where some tendons connect or nerve endings are grouped, you hit it and you just feel this kind of resistance that's unnatural, or supernatural rather, and you also hear her kind of growl, and to you it sounds indeed like a bear growling back at you when you hit her.
I love Totem Warriors, man. Bear Totem Warriors. God damn, I miss them.
Alright. The Blood Drinker is going to savagely attack KO again. And he is going to... Let me see here. Yeah, he's going to invoke... As he starts punching, he is going to use his... Am I still here? My Roll20 is disconnecting for some reason.
You're here.
Yeah, you're here.
What the hell? I keep getting an error message that it's not connected to the server.
I can hear just fine, too.
Yeah.
It might just be Roll20, I don't know. It's not even reloading for me. Sorry. Bear with me with technical difficulties for a moment. Yeah, other sites are loading fine. It's just Roll20 bugged out for me.
Well, we can still see
Yeah.
the map.
Okay.
And also bear with me.
Bear totem with me.
Yeah. Good catch.
So proud of you that I didn't have to say that myself.
Just a moment. I remember that because we're brawling, right? I had this one character that every time he got into a brawl, he would brawl naked, bare naked.
Bare naked.
As soon as core, yeah, bare naked, huh?
Nice. All right.
But it was a berserk.
All right. So he's going to use his the Blood Drinker is going to use his action surge to attack 4 times as well against KO. Does not have advantage. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, that's correct. Scrolling to the bottom. Yeah, I can't see the rolls though, so I'm just going to roll them here. So the first one is a 9 plus 8 is a 17 to hit. Let me check. That does not hit. So the first strike, as he goes, KO actually just blocks it like right against his chest. With the second attack, however, he does hit. And third and fourth are going to be also a hit and a miss. So 2 attacks hit. He deals 1d8 plus 5. I really hope Roll20 comes back for me soon, because I'm not even hearing music. So
I'm not hearing music as well, but since the beginning, like, it's not playing it.
22. So as the Blood Drinker attacks, 2 times he gets blocked. With the third one, he actually just punches through the blockade, and with the fourth one, he uppercuts in a similar way as to what Ternock tried to do earlier. But like with the old man, he does connect properly. You guys hear this kind of sickening crack. It's not broken, but there's definitely something not right in the old man's jaw. But as he kind of staggers back, he just spits out what seems to be a tooth or something, maybe a blood clot, you're not sure, and spits it on the ground and then just squares right back up. Seems there's a lot of fight left in this old man. Gret is going to attack you again, Core. And he is kind of still drunkenly trying to keep his eyes open a little bit. And then at some point, like, he just closes his eyes, and you think for a moment he's falling asleep, and then suddenly he attacks 3-4 times as he does a flurry of blows against you. And as he does it, like, every time he just goes like, "Just sit down," and like he just repeats it several times.
Yeah, Core has the roughest opponent here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Core. First one is gonna be an 11 to hit. Does it hit you without armor?
How do I check? I was trying to
Dex
unequip
plus
my
10.
armor or something.
Yeah, you can also, you know the way you turn off your shield? You can do the same thing with your armor.
But where is my armor? Because it's not.
It's called chainmail,
Like
I
it's-
think.
In your equipment.
It's in your equipment. Yeah.
I was looking for it. Let's see. Oh, chainmail. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. 11.
Your AC is 11?
My armor class is 11. Yeah.
Okay, so he just rolled a 3 plus 8 is 11, so he connects with the first
Damn.
attack. You might not have wanted to take off your armor. It was a cool move. But...
Yeah.
The second one is a 23 to hit. That's a 25 to hit. And this is a 19, so that's a 27 to hit. So
Core is
that's...
just balling out of control this evening, so
Yeah.
no matter what happens here, he just balls the fuck out of all of these other fools, so...
Alright, okay, that's good. 2 ones. So that's 2, 6, 9 plus 4 times. It's still 29 points of bludgeoning damage
Holy crap.
because he has a very high strength.
Yeah.
So like every time he connects, it feels like a tree trunk just trying to push its way through your body. And by the time that he finishes pummeling you, you know, like the first one he punched you in the gut to make you double over, then he just slammed you against the side, like against your ear. And as you're trying to like kind of stay on your feet, he just goes with 2 more strikes. And actually, I will say with that amount of damage, please roll a Constitution saving throw to see if you hold on
I faint?
to the contents. No, hold on to the contents of your stomach.
Oh yeah. Constitution saving throw.
Yes, and please tell me what it is because it's
24.
working again. Okay, so you're good. Like you hold it in. You hold it
So I've
in.
drank a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably sober up a little bit. Like you get a little bit more clarity through your anger and your pain right now.
Yeah.
All right. So it's KO, and after KO, it's going to be you, Core. So be ready. KO is going to go. Hold on, I didn't apply his damage correctly. It was.
As I see Core just getting absolutely wrecked, I just turn towards the owner and I just say, I really do hope that this is just a lesson and that you don't hurt my friend over there too much. He's in for a beating, but make sure your man stops once he's on the floor.
He's just like watching very attentively and doesn't even look at you, but he says, "Blood Drinker doesn't kill unless he get paid to. Because killing in the city gets you in prison. So you got to pay for that time too. And I'm not interested." Yeah, so KO is gonna come back with a very quick combo, like recovering from the heavy strikes that he took to the face. You guys see him briefly like center himself, and you almost swear that there's like a breeze that rolls in from nowhere. And as he does so, he again invokes his fighting spirit, and he goes for the action surge attack once more. No, he didn't do that last time, did he? But yeah, he goes for the action surge. So, with advantage. 1, 2, 3, 4. The sheets are still not working. Come on.
If any one of you orders me to go to Fencor, I will. Just saying.
All right, so that's
Tani's just looking like I could beat all their asses.
So that is a. I think the sheets I have popped out are broken somehow. All right, so that's a 14, a 17, 29, and 26. Only 2 of those hit, which is quite unfortunate. But that's good damage. So he comes back with a very quick, again, a 1-2 combo. Like, they're having this... The middle fight is probably the most orchestrated and the most, like, proper martial arts fight that's happening. And they're just kind of exchanging blows very rapidly. You see, like, noses starting to bleed, and both of them. And Blood Drinker actually kind of staggers back a little bit after the last set of attacks and looks over at Droman for a moment, angrily somehow, and then looks back at KO. And he hisses something in a language that I don't think any of you understand, since I haven't even decided what it is. No, but it's some kind of local dialect of his own language, and it sounds very angry, but yeah, very, very unfamiliar. Core, it's your turn.
Okay. How is KO looking? He's looking fine, right?
Yeah, he's fine.
Core is the worst. I can tell that. Like,
Yeah, I'm almost dead. I'm almost passed out. What was the dwarf saying when he was hitting me? Just
sit down.
Just sit down. Yeah, he was just telling you to stop fighting.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna look at Ternock and I'm gonna say like, sorry, buddy. I don't even know why we're fighting. I'm out. And I'll just walk back to the bar and order a drink.
Like, Droman just glares at you angrily, Core, but Serana actually rushes forward and serves you up a drink on the house, paying for it out of her own pocket. Just kind of claps you on the arm. That's alright, big guy. You want me to comfort you after this? Just right back into business. But in the meantime, does this change the situation for anyone? Does anyone want to essentially take Core's place? Because I would allow that in this particular moment in time. Just ask.
I just look at Tani because she said that she'll like save Core if we told her. Just look at her. Like, do you wanna, Tani?
I'll jump in if Ternock is in danger.
Okay.
All right.
I was like, Tani, don't bother. That dwarf is the worst.
As you guys are debating, right, and someone says, "Don't bother to Tani," the dwarf just kind of looks over, sizes her up and down for a moment. Yeah, don't bother, little girl, and he turns away.
Why do I suddenly feel the need?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, big
Jean-Jacques
mistake,
just
buddy.
looks at him with that in his stares. He just goes to Tani and goes, go teach that bastard a lesson.
Okay. I couldn't take Verena again, so I'll take this one.
Okay. You hear an audible groan at the words of the dwarf from the 2 people behind the bar, because both of them just go like, "Oh, great."
Okay.
And
Initiative.
I will probably say that at some point they inform you that his name is Gret, because his full name should be Regret.
Oh my god.
Alright, so we'll keep... oh yeah, that works too. It's just pretty much the same initiative. So Tani, I will say you can act here. Because
What?
you're essentially taking core
You can go.
space.
Yeah, so
Oh,
you
okay.
can act.
So yeah, you push off from the bar, ready for combat. The dwarf, having said his inflammatory words, is already looking towards KO, so he's not even paying attention to you right now.
Oof.
So what do you want to do?
I don't even need to stretch, I say to myself. And
Tani's pissed.
yeah, I'll uppercut him. Just
Okay. So you move into his vision
Whoa.
range,
Natural.
basically.
Yeah,
And he-
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He was like,
Yes.
and he looks up, and he just sees a fist coming at him out of nowhere. Go
Nice.
ahead and roll the
Oh.
damage first, and then roll your
I
other
can't
attacks.
uppercut him. He's shorter than me. What do I?
Well, you could kind of like lean
Some-
forward and then just
Yeah.
Yeah.
get him under the
I'll do
jaw.
that.
Superman punch is what you need here, Tani. Number one lesson teaching punch in the world.
Damn.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Alright, that's 9 plus 15 points of damage. Very nice. Like, you hit him and immediately, like, it's weird. It kind of causes this elongated burp to come out of him at the same time. So it's just like, in slow motion, it almost looks like... it's a very
that this-
disturbing sight to
An
see.
elongated burp.
Yeah. Elongated burp. That's the name of our band, by the way. Anyway, Tani, you have more attacks. What else do you do?
I say, is that enough for you? You need more? And I'll punch again. Another natural 20!
Oh my god.
I'm gonna give you max damage on this. I'm just gonna say double nat 20s coming into this fight. That's just max damage. So that's gonna be 6 plus 3 is 9. Plus 6 is 15. And 4 plus 4 is 8. So that would be 23 points of damage immediately. Like, basically, as you uppercut him first, and he kind of... Whoop! And you just get him, like, probably right on the nose, and you just break his nose. It stands, like, to the side a little bit from that moment onwards. And it's a dwarven nose. It's quite a significant disfigurement, let's say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Roll one more. Roll one more.
you have another attack, or 2 more if you want a flurry of blows.
Yeah, just because people are watching.
Okay?
I want to impress. I'll spend a key point
Alright.
Yeah.
just for me. 1 less. And... Okay, an 18.
Damn.
Close.
So 25.
That hits.
There's one more, right?
Yeah,
Flurry of
there's
blows.
one more with the flurry of blows.
Yeah. 17.
Alright, 17, I believe, does not hit.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So let me check real quick here. Because there is... Oh my... Why do monks have so many things they can do?
Yeah. I think he does get a reaction.
Yeah, but it's only for other creatures within 5 feet. So in this case, like, he does the redirect as you strike. He does what he did to Core, but it's much harder for him this time. Like, his eyes are now wide open. His nose is bleeding and broken. He already misses several teeth. He's just like, and he catches it and he pushes it to the side, but just barely. Like, he cannot keep up with this flurry of blows that you've just launched at him. So yeah, that was a savage set of attacks by our good Tani.
And the very definition of a mistake.
Yeah, I'm just gonna yell at him like payback's a bitch, huh?
Okay.
I'll spit blood to the side.
All right. After Tani whoops ass, Kith is gonna briefly look over again and not seeing Core this time, but seeing Tani just completely demolish her ally, and seeing that the Blood Drinker is also, he's not doing badly, but he's definitely not winning as hard as he wanted to. She is going to immediately just launch into another set of attacks recklessly against you, Ternock, trying to end this sooner rather than later. So here we go again.
Come at me, bro. Yep. Okay.
So that's the crit. Wow. That's unlucky. And so that's a total of 18 bludgeoning damage as she just...
+4.
+4, yes. Thank you. Because apparently the rage is still not fixed. But yeah, so she just immediately pummels again, trying to put you on the ground. And actually, as she does so, like in a deeper voice than she had before, she just growls at you and she says, "Get down! You don't have anything to do with this!"
Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
It's my turn
Yes.
now, right?
Yes.
So it's appropriate that I just say nope as I use my second wind.
Okay.
And I have a D10 +5 to regain it.
Yes. No, it's a +5. Sorry. Wait, your vital level is +7, so you have +7.
7. Yeah. I don't know where. Can I just click second wind? No.
No, but I think just the D10 should do.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
16 then.
Yep. So you...
Okay.
Being a samurai, you probably also focus yourself, like find your inner peace instead of engaging more in rage and anger. What do you do with your action?
Wait, just a second. Nah, I'm not going to use any of this shit. I'm just going to hit her again. Like, I'm going to, for the looks of it, these are going to be more directed strikes. Like, I'm not trying to fall into her game.
Okay.
Because, well, I'm going to lose if I do so. I'm going to not action surge, but fighting spirit anyway.
Okay.
Just because I have temporary hit points.
Right.
So yeah, I'm basically back to what I have. And I'm going to hit her twice.
Okay. Hopefully.
With advantage, right?
Yeah,
Right.
with advantage.
And I fight in spirit.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That hits, and that hits. So 10 damage down to 5. Huh, interesting. I'm going to take 2 more damage off, actually, because I did the calculation differently in the beginning. Okay. So, basically, you find your peace for a moment, and you look up, and for you it's the same, but it's probably less prominent, but you also have the fighting spirit. You feel briefly that gust of wind in the back of your neck, and then you open your eyes again, and you quickly strike at her. She blocks, but you're putting a lot of force behind this, and you hear her grunt as she kind of gets pushed back a little bit, but yeah, she still looks really, really healthy, compared especially to the other two.
Yeah.
Anything else on your turn, or shall we leave it there?
No, I cannot do anything else besides moving.
Okay.
Moving wouldn't be everything.
All right. The blood drinker, seeing the ass whooping that just happened to his left, is going to refocus his attention a little bit, and turn to Tani first, and he's just going to say, "All right, we're gonna put this thing in the ground now." And you hear a bit of an "oh" from behind the bar, because nobody seems to know if he's going real bad. But he is going to use his giant's might, and as he grows in size, you suddenly have this just hulking creature in front of you that looks even more terrifying than it did before, and he is going to, with his additional size, is going to attack Tani twice. Right. Blood drinker with giant's might in there. So what if I...
Oh, that hits.
All right. Oh,
I look up and I'm like, whoa, I want to grow too.
Oh, giant smite rolled a 1.
Yeah, so yeah, he just like comes down with one large claw and he just tries to claw at you. You do manage to block the worst of it, but it definitely forces you back, and hurts to be on the receiving end of. And he's going to go again with an 11. Just oh my god, it's just the worst thing ever.
Yo, I'm
But yeah.
already super proud. I thought we were going to take a beating here.
But yeah, so
Yeah,
the
given
second
the-
strike, Tani, like, he seems to move almost more sluggishly. So when he comes down again, you just, like, dodge or almost dance out of the way. As you imagine Oriana might have done, your alter ego. And once he's finished, we come to Gret, who is none too pleased with the whooping that you gave him just moments ago. So he is going to, let's see. Yeah, he's going to very quickly attack you 4 times. As he kind of refines his balance, he briefly like grabs his nose and actually grunts in pain as he just snaps it back, at least into the position that it's supposed to be. You can see like tears running down his eyes from the pain, but then he's immediately going to attack you with another flurry of blows. Spent. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Ouchie.
Can it roll, please? Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that will be, I think, 2 hits, right? 20 and 28. I mean the crit, yes, but wow. Okay, for 22 points of damage. As you realize, like, in spite of his drunken demeanor and his unusual fighting style and his just abhorrent personality, apparently, he definitely packs a punch, and he finds 2 ways to land them on your being for the time. But as you kind of stagger back a little bit, you find your footing again, and he definitely still looks worse for wear, and you think you might be, with a couple of good hits, if you hit another flurry of blows similar or even a little less than what you did last time, you might be able to knock him out. It's going to be KO, and after that it's you, Tani. So KO is just going to immediately try to dive into the Blood Drinker again and try to lay him to waste, essentially. So he's going to use his last fighting spirit here. And again, he focuses himself. And this time all of you feel the breeze kind of gush towards him as he makes his last advantage attacks against the Blood Drinker. This time, only 2. Whew. For 15 points of damage. Tani, your turn. What would you like to do?
I'll do the same as him. Just spend another key point. The classic 4 punches.
All right. So.
Nothing special.
Oh, sorry. I forgot that we updated your gloves a little bit. Can you please
That's
make
right.
wisdom saving throws for the 2 times that you
That's
were
right.
hit?
Okay, first.
Oh,
7.
okay. So you are currently afflicted by it. It doesn't change what you wanted to do, but you guys do notice that as like Tani gears up for this attack now, those of you paying close attention, which is most of you, I would believe, notice there's a brief red flash to her eyes, and maybe the most attentive among you also notice that maybe Barnack points it out, but the gloves seem to tighten themselves around her wrists and her arms. Go ahead, Tani, make your attacks. Now it's gonna get interesting. Okay, that hits.
23. Do I do the 4 in one go, or?
Yeah, feel free. Because you can redirect to the Blood Drinker if you were to knock him out.
25. 16. And another 16.
Okay, so 2 hits. The first 2. I assume you're still attacking Gret in this, by the way.
Yeah, the closest.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's You regain 6 hit points, and you deal, 14 plus 11, 25 points of bludgeoning damage. As you just go strike again, and the drunken dwarf staggers back a little bit. He looks up. What's wrong with you? What the fuck? And he's just really, really confused, and you can tell he's getting scared as you just relentlessly pummel him. He blocks like the last 2 blows, and you just kind of poof, poof, and it's really obvious to everyone that Tan is just going all out now, just going all out on this, not poor, but on this particular dwarf. Kith in the background with Ternock is just going to continue fighting. But
as the new round starts, Jean-Jacques approaches Core and pulls out a medicine pouch, his healer's kit, and just cleans the blood off his face and just kind of like readjusts his jaw, and he's like, I mean, Core, really, like, just don't take your armor off next time. And just kind of gives him a lesson.
I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
Got carried away.
Yep. That happens. So Kith, seeing what's happening and seeing that like the blood drinker has gone into his larger size, she's actually going to move over one and attempt to grapple KO instead. So she's going to try to grab him. She has advantage because she's raging against KO's non-advantaged. Okay. So she tries again, and then I'll... Okay. So the first time, she grabs the old man by the arm, and she tries to pull him away, but he actually just flexes, and he pulls so hard towards himself that she almost stumbles into him. But she uses the momentum to just grab around him instead into a bear hug, literally. And you guys hear just this animalistic roar come from her throat, and as she picks him up, she's going to use the remainder of her movement to just carry him away from the blood drinker and away from the fight. That does mean you get an attack of opportunity, Ternock, if you wish to take it.
Yes, I'll take it.
Right.
20.
That hits, so that's going to be...
It was with advantage, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. I'm going to take the
last
leftmost one.
Yeah.
So she just carries him like in this direction, and just holds him up in the air, away from the fight. Ternock, that makes it your turn. What do you want to do?
I am going to attack the blood drinker.
Okay. You see, he kind of goes like, "Huh?" as KO gets pulled away, and then he just sees you, and he just bares his teeth, and roars angrily.
One more fighting spirit. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't have advantage, right? Because it's not a weapon attack. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's correct, because
So
KO specifically gets advantage because he treats it as a weapon attack.
Okay, so just out of curiosity, do the temporary hit points pile up?
No, they replace each other.
Okay, so allow me to not use a fighting spirit. Since
Absolutely.
Okay. And I'm just going to hit him then twice.
Okay. That hits. And
Combat
that also hits.
mode.
So go ahead and roll the 1d8 again.
Yeah. A bit better this time around, maybe. Yeah.
So we'll say as you come up, right, you see KO, you think he can handle himself. You rush up to the blood drinker and you just punch him like on the side of like on the other side of his shoulder, and he turns his attention to you, and you use that moment to literally grab inside the roaring mouth. You pull him down, and then you punch him in the snout, so that you can actually get to it. For an additional 8 points of damage, and like your punch, actually, you feel part of the skull bone cracking where you impacted. The blood drinker on his turn is very unhappy with what he's just observed and felt, and he is going to Let's see. Yeah, he's going to use his full attacks against you, Ternock.
Okay.
And as he does so, like, he starts thrashing at you twice. You hear him grunting under his breath, "This was supposed to be a simple job!" And he's just super angry about the fact that there are people in the way now, who are significantly well matched with him, it seems. Do both of those hit?
Yes.
Alright. So 26 and 18. That's 10 from the first one. And wait, it's not rolling correctly, I think. It's just adding 1 instead of 1d6. So let me actually make that 2 rolls. Okay, so that's actually going to be 10 and 16. So for a total of 26, as she just thrashes into you and tries to like just claw you into the ground.
So it's,
Gret is gonna first of all spend a key point and take a bonus action, defensive posture, dodge action essentially, and then he's going to try to move away because he's not excited about the prospect of facing off with Tani anymore. So he takes a dodge action. Tani, feel free to take your attack of opportunity, which I think is pretty much inevitable on this one.
Mm-hmm. Wow, 24.
Wow. With disadvantage because he's dodging.
Oh, okay.
So roll one more time.
8?
That helps him. So you're about to come down right on him, and he's like taking this weird movement, and he just kind of, and he pushes himself back at the last second, out of the way. Your strike misses, and you just feel this inexorable rage bubble up inside of you. But as he moves away, stumbles out of the way, your attention goes from him, who was so close, to looking around, and you just see this towering figure above you, which must now face your wrath, of course. KO is... he's not even going to try to fight this, he's just going to attack Kith. He just starts pummeling Kith as she's keeping him up in the air with his 2 unarmed strikes. So that's 1 hit. Wow. Alright. But she doesn't seem to care too much.
Yeah, of course she doesn't.
Tani. He's moved here, by the way.
Question about the gloves. Do I have to do the wisdom saving throw every time I get damage, or when I fail,
when you fail, it stays until the other condition is met.
Yeah, okay. Got it. So yeah, I'll focus on the big guy.
Alright, go for it.
And the gloves say that if I have extra attacks, I have to do the extra attack. So
yes, but I think it's probably still up to you how you want to interpret that in terms of your key points, because that's so if you don't want to use the flurry of blows every time, then it's 3 attacks per turn because
I use flurry of blows.
Seems reasonable.
So I'll do the 4.
Okay.
23, 19, 14.
14 misses.
24.
So that's 3 hits. So go ahead and roll damage for all 3. 3 of the 4 anyway. And you continue to heal up from these strikes as well, and you just you feel good about how much it empowers you, how much it gives you strength to do this kind of damage. It's 11 plus 7 is 18. 24.
Didn't you discover at some point that it was only once per turn?
Yeah, I was about to ask. Is it just once?
True. Well, let's do that
just
from now
plus
on,
3.
then. Yeah, or do that. Yeah. Then I'll add the 4 damage to it again. Yeah, you're correct. Good call.
Yeah, just wasn't sure because you said you changed it. I thought maybe you changed that.
No, just how the rage works. But yeah, so Tani, you turn your attention to the big guy and just immediately, it's almost like you're dancing around him, like you're pulling at him and trying to get him closer. And just the moment that he comes into range with a vulnerable part of his body, you just immediately crack your knuckles at it. And only once does he kind of manage to push you away, but the other times are just a horrible barrage of angry Tani and for the moment it looks perfectly satisfying for the rest of you. But those of you who know Tani know that, you know, no matter what fights you guys have been in, she doesn't fight this savagely usually. Kith is going to yeah, she's gonna just punch him while she's holding him up. She's gonna do that recklessly. 1, 2. That hits once, I believe. Yes. Okay, so yeah, she basically just like has him in this grip, and she tries to headbutt him once, it fails, and then she headbutts him again, and they actually connect. And you guys just hear this horrible thud of skull against skull in the background as Kith connects with KO. Ternock, your turn.
I am going to keep hitting him. But
All right.
now I'm going to use my fighting spirit just to regain those hit points.
Right.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I think I clicked it.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah, so this time he actually just kind of in the process of trying to fend off Tani's blows, he just kind of thrashes around, and you're actually just having trouble with this large creature trying to find the angle to get close enough to punch him properly. So twice you try to make a strike, and it just doesn't quite connect with anything significant on the Blood Drinker's body.
Uh-huh.
The Blood Drinker in turn is going to use his second wind. Ooh. Second wind's bonus action, right? Or is it an action?
yes.
Bonus action, okay.
Bonus action.
Alright, so that is helpful. As you watch, like, he kind of cowers a little, like, not cowers, but protects himself, and you hear him breathe in deeply, kind of his own path to finding some kind of calm, and you see these runic inscriptions across his body start to glow for a moment, and some of his wounds close up as he does, and as he refocuses, he just goes for a complete flurry on Tani instead, seeing her now by far as the largest threat on the field. As well he should, I think.
Yeah, that dwarf done fucked up.
Might have fucked it up for everyone.
He did fuck it up for everyone.
So I think that's one hit against Tani, correct? Right, the giant
Yes.
doesn't roll correctly, so that's 14 points of bludgeoning damage. As he, like, these huge claws, but still balled into fist. He's still, you know, a fist fighter here. And he just gets you across the jaw once, but you kind of have that same moment that Kith did earlier, where your neck just doesn't move. Like, you take the brunt of the attack, and you just stare him down, and don't move from your position. The other blow, you do manage to duck out of the way, and we're pretty close to coming back to your turnaround. Gret is just going to stumble to the bar, and he just slumps over, requests a beer, and just starts drowning himself in it almost. Like, his face is just hanging in the top of the mug, and he's just... And you're pretty sure halfway through that he starts snoring into his ale. KO is gonna just attack her twice again.
Advantage.
Right. Let me just quickly check. Oh, I'll just make another double attack. Okay. So that's 2 hits, and he is gonna do 14 damage, so 7 again. Yeah, it's like hitting.
Convenient that you're rolling the same numbers on these attacks against her.
It's incredible, huh?
Yeah.
Tani, you've got some anger problems that you need to let out, it seems, and there's a perfect target right ahead of you. What would you like to do?
Yeah.
Okay, Ma.
Well, I'm still in that state. Normally, I would have. I already knocked out. Well, not knocked out, but I already beat the dwarf. But I won't say anything. I'll just. I don't know. My eyebrows are like really arched, and I'm smirking, and I'm looking all sorts of evil. And 2 punches.
All right.
No, you know what? I'm gonna spend another one. Because
You're gonna
I'm
beat his
berserking.
ass.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right.
23, 24, 26.
So go ahead and roll damage for the first 2 first. Let's see how far that gets us.
Well, this is happening. I'm walking towards the dwarf to sit beside him.
Okay,
The
so
bar.
you've got 7 plus 9 is 16. Okay, so go ahead and roll the third amount of damage. Okay, so with the third strike, you reach up and you do basically a similar move to what Ternock did and grab like near the mouth, but instead of grabbing like inside and just briefly tugging down, you literally grab between the teeth and the outside. So you just grab the lip and you just start pulling and pulling. You guys hear him scream, and it tears. And like he gets to the ground and she just starts. And with the third attack, he just topples over to the side, shrinking in size. And for a moment, Tani's about to strike again, but when you see that he's knocked out, there's this moment, and then you see that Ternock is standing right there. Another living, breathing creature. You have
Second,
another...
goes from the bar.
You have another attack, which you rolled an 18, so let's use that one. Ternock, does the 18 hit you?
Yes, he does.
Sorry, I'm not myself.
It's okay.
So, go ahead and roll damage as the rest of you watch. Tani knocks out the blood drinker savagely, like part of his lip is just torn away, and then just moves over to Ternock and clocks him in the face.
Yeah. Is that an 8?
That is 8 points of bludgeoning damage to you, yes.
Okay. So,
I just grab the dwarf
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
turn him
fine.
towards Tani. Like that looks like it hurts, huh, buddy?
It's just like, he holds onto his mug as if it's his fucking safety blanket, and he just, I don't want to go back. He tries to turn away, but you probably won't let him. He's just like, but yeah, the rest of you watch Tani just suddenly clock Ternock in the face. We come to Kith's turn, and that's the top of the round, so I'll say if you want to do something about what you just saw, this would be the time to announce that you want to do it, because then you can roll
I do.
initiative. Okay.
I do.
So
Yeah, I'm
roll
concerned
initiative
for
if you
Tani.
want to start.
Oh man. I'll just roll again for the thingy, but I'll change it.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Alright.
Roll initiative, right?
Yeah.
Do I come in now because I'm a 6 or
No, because we're at the top of the round, so you actually come
Oh,
in
okay.
all the way at the bottom. Everyone
shite?
still moves before. Core also comes in at the bottom. Oh boy, you guys are great at initiative.
I always suck at initiative.
What a nice time
Yeah.
to use my gloves truly.
Kith doesn't realize this and is just going to attack KO again twice. Oof. That's 11 plus 9 plus 4 is 24 points of damage. Whew. So this time she actually smashes like through one of the chairs and then like smashes KO into the wall at the same time with her head, and you just hear the old man kind of groan in pain this time. He's definitely been hit hard there. Ternock, what do you do? As Tani's just hit you in the
I'm
face.
going to make a dumb decision, and I'm going to move away from Tani.
Do you want to
And I'm
disengage
going
doing so?
to. No, I don't. It's not disengage. I acknowledge that I got punched in the face by her, but I kind of ignored it, and I'm trying to divert her attention to Keith. Like I'm going to stand like right here,
Okay.
so I'm not the closest living thing between
Okay.
her and
Tani,
whatever. So,
make your attack of opportunity.
yeah, please.
Please.
do.
Sorry to be so demanding, but 12.
Yeah, you miss.
All right. So
I get to live one more turn.
blocks it on the armor, and like as you follow Ternock, you just see Kith standing there smashing Ternock's master into the wall. That brings us the blood drinker is unconscious and slightly dying. So let's do a real quick.
Slightly dying.
Yeah, he was knocked out a little more savagely than maybe he should have been. So as he's unconscious there, you see the unconscious figure of the blood drinker just kind of start to splush up a little blood, like doesn't sound good. Gret is just gonna turn away and puts his head on the bar. KO, seeing what's happening with Tani now, is finally going to decide that he is no longer eager to be cuddled by this large half-orc, and he's going to try to break free. Oh, my God, that is terrible. Kith, what are you going to roll? Yeah, that's better. He's going to try one more time. Okay, he does break free. So, KO manages to break free of Kith, and immediately just kind of rolls out of the way towards here. He's going to take an attack of opportunity for that, but he's going to leave her in the path of Tani. Oof. Alright. So, Tani, it is your turn.
+2, right? Okay.
Yes.
Do I attack who's nearest?
Yes. As long as
Who's
someone
nearest,
is within 60 feet. And in this case, I would say that is Kith. Just
Kith,
pure raw distance.
Okay, I start to make a growling noise at the back of my throat and go running towards her and punch.
She kind of turns around at the sound, like feeling a kindred and yet also distant spirit coming up behind her. 18 does hit. You have advantage, by the way, so see if you crit, because she had attacked recklessly before.
That's true.
Okay, so 18. So that does hit. For 7 points of damage, reduced to 3.
And +2.
Yeah. And, yeah, you have more attacks, and everything will be at advantage against her.
Okay, switching to advantage. And I won't use key points this time.
Okay. 23 hits. So you come up behind her, and she kind of turns, and the first blow, she barely catches on like her defense, but with the next one, you break through the defense with another uppercut, and deal not as much damage as you expected, but this only enrages you more. Yeah. Do you want to use your regular bonus action attack, though?
Almost forgot that was a thing.
Yeah. That hits again.
Nine.
Okay. Damn. So yeah, you're just unleashing on Kith, and Kith roars back in return. But the rest of you, like KO, you hear KO kind of shout to Ternock, did she just attack you? Is this normal? And that's pretty much it. Jean-Jacques, we come to your turn.
Right. I will rush forward to the now dying form of the blood drinker, and I will use my medicine kit to stabilize him.
Okay, that's very kind
without
of you.
having to make a medicine. It's also, I don't want Tani to be in prison.
It helps. It helps.
More than anything.
Okay.
And I just, bonus action, I don't really have anything to do as a bonus action, I don't think. I just, for precaution's sake, I use 20 feet of movement, so I can use 5 more feet to pull him 5 feet back.
Sure.
And then I look at Core, and I say, something's wrong. You're almost dead. Don't go near Tani until you're healed. And that's it.
Okay. Core, you hear these words, and it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Yeah. I'm gonna cast Lay on Hands on myself, just in case I get too close to Tani.
Okay. So for your action, you lay on hands, and you give yourself some hit points back, however many you want, out of the pool that you have.
Yeah, all the ones I have left.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna That's all I can do right now for now.
Okay, you want to move anywhere to be in position for next turn?
Let me check something.
You hear from the doorway where the silver elf was, you just hear like, "You can hide with me, big guy."
Okay, so I'm gonna come to this corner.
Okay. That's fair. All right.
Wait, let me see how.
Seems
20 feet, 25 feet. Yeah.
all right. So if that's the end of your turn,
Yeah.
all right, we come around to Kith, and she is going to recklessly attack you, Tani, and yeah, she's going to just go all in against you. Let me check if there's anything else.
Wait, before my turn end, I just yelled to Tani like, Tani, you're not yourself.
Do
Okay.
we need to get Snickers?
Nice.
That was a great joke.
Yeah.
You're not yourself when you wear these gloves. But yeah, so Tani, no, you get probably no response. Like she's not there to receive the message core. But she is there to be struck by. Wait, that's not right. To be struck by Kith, who is attacking recklessly twice. So that will be, I think, 2 hits for 16 bludgeoning damage. She just she squares up like a boxer now, makes herself as compact as possible, and just 2 times quickly to hit you. And yeah, she's just completely focused now on Tani, but definitely in a sort of more survival mode. She seems to have recognized as well that the situation is changing in an unexpected way. Ternock, what do you do? Are you...
I'm
okay,
just...
I wasn't sure if you were talking, but mute.
No, I'm here. I'm just confused, to say the least. I really want to put an end to this fight, and I think that the best way for me to do that would be to turn on Tiny now. This fight must end, like, whatever.
It's your choice.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm
Okay.
going to approach Tani, and I'm going to hit her twice.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my fighting spirit one more time, so I can survive the next round or whatever. At least
Hopefully.
try. Yeah. So yeah, 2 hits on Tani.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
Alright, so we'll say again, 1d8 for that one. And a 13 I don't think hits Tani, correct?
No, 13.
So go ahead and roll the 1d8, plus 4 is your critical hit.
Yes.
For 12 points of bludgeoning damage against Tani. Tani, like, if you were yourself, you'd be offended.
Sorry.
You'd be offended at Ternock suddenly clocking you in the face, but considering things and who's driving the bus right now, this just feels like, you know, another thing to fight, another thing to kill. Although you do feel that you're getting a little low on life point, but there's just no survival mechanism in place right now.
As an end to my turn, I respond to KO. Yeah, to Master KO. No, that's not normal. We must end this fight right now. Go at her. I don't care.
Okay. So that means KO is going to come rushing forward, and he is going to... yeah, he's going to just try to tackle Tani to the ground. So he's just going to use his formidable fighting abilities to try to tackle and then pin, if possible. So Tani, that will be a contested athletics check. Or acrobatics, if that's better for you, but I think athletics is probably higher.
No, actually, acrobatics is higher.
Really? Okay. But even then, you know, in your rage mode and having taken the punches that you have, you're not expecting the human master to suddenly just come tackling you to the ground. So he kind of just jumps at you, and you both crash heavily into the wooden floor below. And immediately he's going to try to pin you. So you can make another check to see if you can avoid the pin. If he pins you, then you'll both be restrained.
Another of the same?
Yes.
Acrobatics?
Yes.
Well, 24 total.
Wow, almost.
Just
Like you
26.
almost managed, like in your rage, just pull away from KO pinning you to the ground, but he manages to like hold you fully in a lock grip essentially, and pins your arms and just prevents you from doing anything as you just thrash angrily. I'm gonna say with that, Kith is gonna let her rage fade and step back, and KO can keep Tani occupied for now in the interest of storytelling and time as well. So here, you guys have a decision to make. Do you try to wait out Tani's current state as the others try to like regroup and they're kind of gathering more around the blood drinker, and there's some sorries exchanged and stuff like that, but for the most part KO has Tani pinned and you need to decide what to do with her. So how do you guys want to proceed?
I urge for Jean-Jacques' presence. Like I just call him as she's pinned down, and as she's in a trance of some kind. We need to snap her out of it.
I do rush hour. I was already, on my way there. There's not much I can do, I don't think, to get her out of it right now. My suggestion is that we bind her and immobilize her. This should fade at some point, and if it doesn't, then we need to knock her out.
Kevin, do I notice
Take her out
that,
of this.
is it possible to notice that the glove is having some kind of interference? I've noticed that she uses a glove, but never heard anything about it.
No, to my knowledge, you guys don't have any reason to particularly suspect those.
Of that, right?
Except that it's, I think, the only magical item that Tani has.
She did punch me.
Oh,
previously.
right, she did throw the punch at the
because of the.
I think Ternock wasn't there yet, was he?
No. But I think I know.
You do.
I'm feeling like I know what this is, but I wouldn't suggest taking them off anyway because I don't know what that would do. So
yeah.
Nor that we could.
Like KO continues to hold her, and like over her shoulder as she's grunting, he just kind of raises his voice. He says, "Well, you need to decide quickly. I'm not going to hold her forever, so either bind her or knock her out. But
Ternock and Core, bind her legs and bind her arms. Let's wait this out."
Well, that's happening. I went and grabbed a mug of ale that was in one of the tables, whatever that someone left, and throw it in Tani's face. Like, maybe this will work.
Like everyone's busy binding her, and Core just comes up and just drenches both people there, and like KO just kind of stares at him like tasty. But nothing else. Nothing happens.
I'm binding her. Yes. Okay. Her arms like to her body, like across the chest.
It's quite an endeavor, but after about 10 minutes or so, you do manage to get Tani completely bound. Tani, you just have this thing in your head, and it's just saying kill, 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 and it's not relenting. As long as they're close to you, you can scent their blood and their sweat and the fact that they're alive, and you need to end that particular state of existence. I will say also this endeavor and the fallout takes probably 20 minutes or so. So Jean-Jacques, at this point, you may need to do an emergency dip and go if you want to make it to your appointment tonight. That's not to say that you couldn't make it to an appointment later, but you're not guaranteed. The paper said after 9, but you know that your contact can be a bit iffy on those things.
Yeah. So I look at Ternock and I say, "Can you get her to the Stormcrow's Tavern?"
Well, yes, definitely, yes. It's going to be quite a trip, especially with, it's basically containing and moving a wild animal at this point. So I might try, and I go and I need to address the group, right? I need to address Keith and the man.
I can take care of that part if you like. What I would suggest is if you knock her out, I can make her invisible and it will be easier to carry her to the Stormcrow Tavern. So I suggest that you clock her on the head so she falls unconscious.
Then I'll turn her invisible so that you can carry her through the city.
I'm still like, I'm just trying to understand the fact that you. What do you mean by
Okay.
going invisible? What
In the background, KO is listening to this conversation. He heard knock her out, and he just kind of leans over and just. Poof, I rolled a natural 20 on the attack.
Nice.
So Tani, the lights go out, and you are
And then
comfortably
suddenly,
unconscious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't
Oh, well,
lose track
then.
of her. And I snap my fingers, and Tani's prone form becomes invisible.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Ah.
This lasts for an hour, so you need to be fast.
Okay.
Although-
Okay.
And Barnack, we're not peeing on her.
Then I turn
so-
back towards.
Barnack
So
puts
I-
his trousers back on.
I turn to Barnack and Core, and I ask, "Are you able to, both of you, take care of this? I do really need to talk to Master K. How much time would we take on?
You know
getting
what?
back to-
And he kind of steps up beside you. He puts a hand on your shoulder. You know what? Let me settle my business here, and I will come with you for the night. But I'm coming back, and he just looks over at Jolman, like, I'm coming back. But I know we made some mess here, and I know you had your point to prove. I hope it is now done. And he heads over to the bar, and he just briefly, reaches behind, and he produces a small coin pouch. He produces several very high-quality platinum pieces, 2 of them, and he just places them on the bar. For all the trouble, but in the future, really treat your people better, because I will still be here, and I will still notice. And he turns away, and he says, I'll just go pick up my things and come with you.
Okay.
So
As he's
seeing
doing
that-
that, I do want to approach the group either way. Like we're headed out. I wanted to approach them and just say, "Hell of a good fight. I'm sorry to mess around your job, but you weren't about to kick my master's ass and not have to kick my ass either. I'm sorry."
As you approach, right, and KO is gone, Tani is unconscious and invisible. The group just kind of looks around, and you see the blood drinker. He's been given something to kind of wake him up a little bit. Doesn't seem too lucid though, so it ends up being Kith who speaks to you, and she looks at the others. She looks over at Droman. I got paid, and she puts out a hand to shake. That was a good fight, but you need to
Extend my
work on
hand
your
back.
left hook, and she just kind of scratches where there's a little bit of a mark that you made. Because that's just a little kiss, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm not that good with my fists. I'm more of a swordsman myself. So
Well,
yeah,
I'd like to see that.
that was
someday.
good practice, though. That was good practice.
You'd like to see his sword someday?
Yeah, she says that. In action, no less. But we all just became the moving eyebrow meme. But yeah, so she shakes her hand, and there's just kind of this whole congenial attitude around the place. I assume at this point Jean-Jacques has gone to make sure that
Yeah.
he can catch up to what he wanted to do. But among the rest, there's this kind of congenial attitude, except for Droman, who is just kind of pissed that things didn't go his way, until Sorana just puts a hand on his arm and says, "Listen, Droman, you just gotta let go. They're better. Hire them next time to do this job, and then, don't get in the situation in the first place, dummy. Just go to bed. I'll clean up, and I'll wash up, and I'll make sure everything's ready to go, and I'll keep it going for the night, all right?" And he just kind of grumbles, and then he just goes off into the back to his living quarters, and disappears. But the rest of you, yeah, strangely amicable after everything that happened and punching each other in the face a lot, except for Gret, of course, who is just face down on the bar, sleeping, snoring, and not apologizing for anything or to anyone. So, I assume you leave them in your wake here, and you start the relatively difficult process of getting Tani back to the Stormcrow Tavern, which, carrying a body essentially is quite difficult, although thankfully she is invisible. And with Chaos' help, you managed to get her through the streets relatively unmolested. In the meantime, we will quickly jump to Jean-Jacques in a moment. But first, I need to use the restroom. I've just realized. So
Me too. Please.
let's have a really quick 1 minute break. Discuss amongst yourselves as you guys are walking to the Stormcrow Tavern, or figure out what you want to be doing next. And we'll get back in just a minute. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll go to the bathroom
worries.
too. I'll be right back.
I knew that Tani would just fuck everybody up if she joined that fight. I knew it.
Shit. But also, I was afraid for the longest time. Like, when am I gonna go berserk? And it was a good situation.
Yeah,
been worse.
not the worst one. Yeah, it could have been. It could have been
'Cause
worse.
I remember I pushed it down when we were fighting. When we interrupted that singing
Oh yeah,
underground thing.
the underground.
I remember I pushed it down.
It's tricky. Magical items that are cursed are tricky. Hard to work around them, even though they're powerful.
The catching up that Milos has to do. after
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Sorry about that. All right. I think Carlos will be here. Ah, there he is. Nice. Good timing. So, we zoom out, essentially, as we watch the Ashen Hearts, the main party, carrying Tani invisibly to the Stormcrow Tavern. We join Jean-Jacques on his way to the park, to the neglected park of Postizia, which I will drag you guys quickly to the map here. You can see is up here, Ostray Park, and you're on a river barge for most of the journey to get there from Hyde Harbor. And once you're there, it still becomes a bit of a labyrinth that you have to make your way through, because you once knew many places in this park, but things change and have grown wilder as well. Paths have been overgrown that weren't overgrown in the past. But eventually you do manage to make your way to a sort of clearing where there's set a statue in the middle, and there are some old benches around where people would have been able to relax and kind of enjoy the park once upon a time, but that time is a long time ago. And the statue itself, you see that the head has been torn off, and it kind of lies behind one of the benches, having been destroyed ages ago. It was one of Postizia's old kings that was depicted here from very long ago. But you notice also that beyond the statue, like as you enter this clearing, and it's maybe like 60 or 70 feet across, it's quite large and roomy. You notice that there are a couple of tents set up on the other corner, far from you, and there's like two people sitting around a campfire talking, seemingly, probably homeless people that live in this part of the city. Well, homeless, this is their home, but it's definitely not your traditional city dwellers here. They you're not sure if they notice you, but probably they did. They just don't take notice of you. Otherwise, they leave you alone as long as you leave them alone. And knowing the park and its current state, I would say you probably find yourself quite fortunate not to have been harassed on the way here. In any case, 9 o'clock arrives. You did manage to arrive just a little bit early still, but 9 o'clock arrives and the time passes and darkness has fallen properly. So you're sitting there pretty much just by the light of the stars and the moonlight, unless you conjure up something for yourself, and of course that firelight that's maybe 60 or 70 feet away. And as you look around, you can't help but think to yourself, this is the perfect environment for your friend Arby. Always quick on his feet and very quick to disappear as well. You're not surprised when you hear a voice come from beside you, where he should have never been able to get to without being seen, but he did. And standing there, on the bench itself that you were standing by, or maybe sitting on and waiting, is Arby, this kind of unkempt halfling in his middle years. And I actually can show him to you, so give me a moment. I put you guys on the wrong map. There we go. And you see him here. The enlarge function isn't working, but that's him. That's Remy.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, he still looks pretty much the same way that he always did, but you know, age is definitely catching up to him more than it does to you, considering your background and your genes. But nothing so terrible that that he looks bad or anything. He just looks unkempt and like he hasn't had a proper bath and proper grooming and new clothes in a while. So he plunks himself down on the bench next to you, and kind of looks around, his legs dangling off the bench a little bit, and he says, well, it's been a while.
Mon frère, risen from the dead, I see.
Just one of my tricks. You know me. I get around, and sometimes I gotta get away. I gotta get away a lot of times, I guess, but this time it got bad. Anyway, it's good to see you. And he kind of looks at you, and he stands up again, and he just reaches in, you know. And he's a thief, but he's a friendly one, at least as far as he goes. So he just kind of quickly grabs you into a hug, and he continues to stand on the bench just so he can kind of be at eye line with you. Without too much trouble.
Yeah, I hug him back and I say, "Oh, I know that you sometimes have to escape, but I have to say, these moments where you have to die, you got me for a moment."
You forgot, didn't you?
I did. That was stressful.
Oh, you have been to Postizia for too long, my friend. Life goes too fast here. You gotta keep up, or you get lost.
Well,
both.
It's going quite fast for me now, too.
Wait, what do you mean? What's going on?
Well, I,
Wait. You don't need my help, do you? Because I need your help.
Well, perhaps we can help each other, then.
Are you still
I
gonna...
don't know if I need your help. I need some advice, perhaps, and some information more than anything else.
I'm great at advice.
I do know that.
Yeah, definitely. Just get her behind the barn, and everything will be fun.
Remy.
I know.
If you saw the mademoiselle I was with tonight, you would have been absolutely floored. Absolutely.
Would I have been? I remember your taste being
so.
Pretty bad. You know, except for Esme, but, you know, that was the exception, not the rule.
Well, let's not bring her into this.
Okay.
But what help do you need? I would be remiss if I had to ask first.
Well, I mean, it depends really, but if I understand properly, you kind of do some protection nowadays, or at least, you know, jobs that involve that sort of thing. Freelancing, yes? Right?
Yes, freelance.
Okay, well, maybe, you know, you could put those skills to use, keeping me safe for a bit.
He kind of crosses his arms and looks at him suspiciously. Who from?
I'm not sure, but I guess someone isn't happy with my work, and they have taken offense. And they know that I'm alive.
Mm-hmm. And would this be your regular work, or was this...
I kind of just need you to figure out who, and then, you know, keep me alive, and then, you know, deal with it. I can pay. I did a really big score, like, 3 weeks ago?
Was this perhaps when the trouble started?
No, it was 4 weeks ago that it started. I've been keeping alive. I just need someone to kind of be more efficient at it than I am.
Right. Well, I can certainly talk to my friends, make sure that they are interested.
That would be great. I
And,
mean, friends of yours are friends of mine. You know that. I
I
love
do.
everyone
I
you
do.
hang out with, especially me. So I'm sure it's gonna turn out great.
Well, you love yourself more than anybody loves you, so that is no
That's not
surprise.
true. That's not true. Your mother loves me.
We both know that that is not true at all.
Yeah. She hates me.
Yeah, she does. But that's why I love you.
Yeah, me too.
But all right, I can definitely look into what is happening and who has their eyes set on you. I would need more information. It is not easy to go off of I don't know who it is or why it is happening and somebody is trying to hurt me.
He kind of looks a little distracted, and you notice that definitely the wind has kind of picked up. Maybe that storm is finally hitting. But his only reply is, yeah, sure. But maybe just not here. You know, a place that's not so open would be great. And but you know, let's discuss your thing. Maybe walking away from here.
All right. And seeing how weirded out he got about that, I'll just do a very careful scan of the area.
Okay.
Try and see if there's anything weird.
Make a perception check.
That's 14.
I would say with that, something strikes you as off, but it's more your instinct speaking to you, and it like you're not really sure what it is. It's just something is weird, kind of creeping up the back of your neck. That sense of, you know, oof. But you're not sure what it is. You can't identify the source.
So just in my regular kind of voice, I'll say, what was the name of the brothel we were in right now?
The Siren's Repose.
Siren's Repose. I'll just say, kind of letting my voice carry, I'll just say, all right then, let us make our way to the Siren's Repose, and we can talk there. But with my hand towards him, in that old version of Thief's Cant that I know that he probably taught me, I'll just say, not there, be ready to go invisible. Something like that.
Okay.
And there's Stormcrow's Tavern.
Okay. It takes him a little longer than you might have liked to recognize this particular version of the signing that you do. So he's like, Siren's Repose? I don't... Okay, I mean, sure, wherever you want to go. Let's get walking, and then you can tell me what you need from me. I know plenty, so I'm happy to help.
All right. So we start walking, and I say, well, I'm, as you said, in the business of protection. And this particular person that I am protecting seems to have gotten on the bad side of the Scarlet Rose.
Okay. So two things kind of happen very, very quickly after one another. First, when you say Scarlet Rose, he just kind of, his ears perk up and he kind of looks over at you with narrowed eyes as a kind of like, oh no sense, you know, like he's not happy to be hearing that name, but his expression of distaste very quickly turns completely to pain as something hits him out of thin air, something invisible, and just pushes him probably a good 10 feet into the bushes next to the path that you guys are on, and it just, and you just hear this dull impact of something smacking into him, and he spits up some blood as he just gets catapulted out of the seat and into the brushes next to you, and he immediately just kind of shrieks. He goes, "Jean-Jacques, no!" And that's
So him being 10 feet away complicates this.
I know.
Just barely, because I will cast invisibility at third level, and will use my special powers to jump 10 feet prior to casting the spell, put my hand on him, and make both of us invisible.
Okay, so you kind of catapult yourself out of the seat and make both of you invisible. The moment that you like you're still touching him, and you help him to his feet, and you both kind of scurry out of the way, trying not to leave any trace. Please roll a stealth check actually for yourself with advantage, and I'll roll one for Remy. Oh, that's a 19 already. Okay, he's very hidden.
Total of 19 for me.
So like when you're on your feet, you feel him grab onto your probably onto like part of your trousers or the back of your back of your coat, so that he can follow you. This is something you guys used to do as well, being invisible with through other means, but you still had this plan in action. And knowing that he can follow you, you kind of lead him away carefully, and you both you're being stealthy. But as you are moving away, not saying a word, for a moment you think that you can see this kind of... It's almost like a ghostly outline, but it's not really ghostly. It's more like air coalescing into a shape for a brief moment, and it just floats near the corner of the square, looking around, trying to find out where you are. Some strange being seems to be the attacker here, but it doesn't seem to notice you as you guys carefully flee from the pavilion and start making your way into the city. At the same time, Tani becomes visible on KO's shoulder as you guys are walking through the street. So about halfway through, Tani just becomes visible, and you guys know that probably Jean-Jacques had to cast invisibility again, which is probably not a good sign. But yeah, Jean-Jacques, so from there, do you lead him straight to the Stormcrow Tavern, or do you want to try other things to further throw off any pursuers? Like, what's your plan?
I will lead him to the Stormcrow Tavern, but I will lead him in such a way where we stop at 5 different inns before that.
Right, okay. So, a very roundabout sort of way. I will say probably by the time that you arrive at the Stormcrow Tavern, Tani is just about regaining consciousness. So, by the time that you enter and you revisibilize yourself, Tani, you've probably just woken up, not angry anymore, not crazy, but completely yourself, but tied up, and I assume in one of the bed chambers, so that she wasn't in full view of the entire tavern. But with the help of Finn, you make your way up as well, and so you guys kind of end up congregating together in one of the larger bed chambers in the Stormcrow Tavern, trying to recuperate. Tani bound, but seemingly herself, and this new person, Remy, this little halfling, unkempt and shaken now, joining you guys as well. So, that was quite something. And you are all together again.
What?
Feeling okay, Tani?
I just... question to the DM. How much do I remember? Or do I remember me?
Yeah, you remember everything, you just don't remember why you did it. It just seemed right at the time.
Oh, okay. I assume you had to stop me. How did you stop me?
Esther KO knocked you out.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That was a good plan.
Yeah. He's usually right. And but are you feeling a bit better?
Do I feel particularly tired, DM?
Well, you feel all the damage that you've taken. You definitely feel kind of, wrecked from the night of fighting. But otherwise, no.
Just she's still restrained, right?
Yeah.
Just physically, like I was in a fight. But otherwise, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm me. Hello?
Do you remember what happened, Tani?
Yeah. It wasn't like when, I don't know.
Yeah, so if you remember it, wouldn't you mind if I kept you restrained for a bit longer? I just need to be sure.
It's okay. I'm comfortable anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know why though. I remember the feeling. I remember. Sorry, I punched some of you guys. Well, Ternock this time.
Yeah. Nah, don't worry. You kick those guys' asses. We wouldn't have beaten them without you. being.
You do know I wasn't myself, right? Yeah, that's not me. Sorry.
Yeah. We need to find out what's actually causing that, Tony, because I don't know when are you not yourself. I mean, did that happen before? What's the deal here? What's the trick?
I look down on my gloves, but look back up quickly.
Jean-Jacques is just
Do I
following
pick it
her
up?
stare.
Do I pick it up?
I mean,
That she actually did that?
Tani, are you trying to hide it? Because then we can make it a deception versus insight check, I would say.
Yeah, I'm trying to hide it.
Alright, so roll deception for Tani, and I will say for Jean-Jacques and Ternock to roll insight. Alright, yeah, you both pick it up. It happens.
Yeah. I just say,
This
yeah.
is not the first time you've done that, Tani.
What did she do exactly? Remy just pipes
Oh,
up.
right. Sorry. Everybody, this is my friend RB. RB, this is everybody. And I kind of go
Hey.
one at a time.
Why is she
do
tied
that-
up? Is this
I
a
do
kinky
that one
thing?
thing again. Like I interrupt. Like while he's talking, I'm like, turn off. You know. Because
Yeah, he just like
That's how I roll.
confused, shakes your hand, just looks over at the bed, and he asks you, Ternock, is this a kinky thing? You
No,
guys
this
like
is not a
really
kinky thing.
good friends, or?
Well-
I like to think that yes, that's what I usually think about these people. But you know, tonight was a rough night. We were all a little bit tired. Those are difficult questions to ask, but we're definitely together in this. Don't worry.
Should I just wait outside then?
No.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, you can wait outside for a moment. Grab yourself a drink, RB.
I'll go hang out with the really buff bartender.
Good idea.
He heads downstairs.
I sit down like Tanny's laying down, right, restrained.
Mhm.
I sit down on the side of the bed. I put my legs like it looks like a big bed, so I sit down
Yeah.
with my legs crossed in the bed, like looking at her, and I'm just like, Tony, what is going on? We gotta know. You almost knocked me out. Knocking me out in that situation, who knows what it would have caused if I wasn't able to hit you back, if I wasn't able to restrain you. Were you going to stop at some point? What was that?
At the moment, it didn't feel like I was gonna stop. I just heard kill, attack. Yeah. I wasn't myself. Did I mention that?
Was that
Yes,
the
you
same
did
when you
mention
heard
that,
it?
but are you carrying that other self with you? What is this?
No, it's not like past times where I heard a voice. No.
Did you hear the same thing when you were trying to take your gloves off? When you
That one time you mean when I had to take a bath?
Yep.
Like yesterday.
Yeah.
Literally yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, literally.
It's been like 4 sessions. It was yesterday.
This is the longest.
And the day is still not over.
No. Damn role
We haven't
players.
played in weeks. That's why. Yeah. Thing is, okay, if I tell you what I suspect, will you do anything about it? What kind of question?
I mean, that's
not
a
able
really
to promise.
difficult question to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no one's gonna hurt you, Tony. Of that. you can be
Okay.
sure.
Yeah,
I'll be honest because you're my friends. You're my closest friends.
my friends.
And I've never made friends before like this, so okay. I'll be honest.
I'm no longer sitting down. I stood up.
Okay.
I
Okay.
felt this before. Back underground when we stopped the singing people, the masks, those guys. I remember I pushed it down though. I felt something. And I remember looking down at my gloves. It was coming from the gloves, but I pushed it down. I don't know how. But yesterday, I don't know, it was so fast. It happened so fast. And when she was gonna take off my gloves, and I don't know. It didn't come from me, is what I know.
Are you drawn to the gloves? Like, wouldn't it be safer then to maybe, well, keep them, but perhaps not use them?
How do I keep them and not use them?
I mean,
Well,
you
I
take
mean,
them
if-
off your hands, you fold them down, put it in your bag as every other piece of clothing.
I think it's possible that these gloves maybe have a malicious curse of some kind or something on them. If we were to procure the services of somebody powerful enough, it might be possible to remove it. So you could take them off, and then we can search for somebody to remove the curse.
You are not able to take the gloves off.
Well, it depends on something. I don't know what, but yeah. How about Finn's friend? Because, guys, I'll be honest, I sort of like him. I don't know. My punches are fabulous. I could defeat Varina with this, like this.
Yeah, and you could kill all of us. What a nice thing, right? Kill everybody.
I fight a smile. I'll say nothing.
Okay.
Did I catch it?
Yeah, I'd probably say that's too micro expression-y.
Okay. I don't know, man. I'm
We
wise
can
as fuck.
definitely ask Finn's friend. She does seem to have fairly powerful magic, which is strange, since she seems to be just a regular old gnome, but yeah,
Yeah.
I do think that Ternock's right, Tani. It's too big of a risk. If we go into battle and this kicks in at the wrong moment, you can knock me out, or you can knock Core out, or Ternock, or Barnack, or any of us. Or all of us, for that matter, if we are not healthy enough.
Yeah, that it's funny being around you, Tony. At the same time that I trust you a lot, considering I do believe that you are the most genuine person out here with us. The only person that I could blindly trust in this room is you. At the same time, I cannot stand the possibility of staying near you without thinking that I could die at any moment.
I do blindly trust you guys too.
Yeah, we got to talk about that blind trust.
Yeah. So what I do is, like, I head to the door. I need to talk to Master KO. She's going to remain restrained, and
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Teo's like sitting in the back of the room, just listening to all
oh,
of
I
this.
thought he was. I thought he wasn't like in.
No,
the tavern,
it was Arby who left, but Keo just sat there like he helped carry
I thought
Tani.
he was there with, or not with Arby, but in the same room.
No,
And
he stayed. He wasn't asked to leave, and he is, one of those old people who just go like, "Yeah, I'm here now. What's up?"
Yeah. And I just turned to him and I say, "May you join me in the tavern,
Of course.
so we can discuss what's going on here."
He gets up and he goes to join you.
Okay. So, just we're stopping in 3 minutes, or is it in an hour? I
It's
never
a good
know.
question. Well, not an hour, but do you guys want to finish this and kind of finish the day, maybe? At least get to a point where, it's ready to advance to Sunday after 4 sessions. Is that okay? Or, I mean, we can hard cut here at
Yo,
30. What
What,
do you guys
we can
prefer?
do, Kev, in order for because I really want to have a proper conversation with
Okay.
with Chaos. So, like, perhaps since this is actually going to take place in a different room, me and him, we cannot have this conversation today and have it like
Sure,
sometime in the
that
middle
works
of the
for me.
week, like just 30 minutes, just to
Yeah,
have the
I mean,
conversation.
if you want to talk to KO, you guys want to decide a bit of what goes on with the gloves. But one way or the other, you make it to the next day. The reason I want to get to the next day is you were going to go to the Arcana Quisitas, and I want to give you guys the contract that was drawn up and show you what is potentially at the other side if you choose to accept it. So how about we do a brief skip. Please think about, this is the end of this Saturday. Many things happened. Many questions are open. Decide how you want to proceed with the gloves. Decide what you want to talk about. We'll have that conversation. And next time, we'll pick up. We'll resolve any business at the end of this day. And we'll already have given you time to look at the contract. So, briefly, things happen, many conversations, probably late into the night. But eventually, everyone is unbound and everyone comes to find some rest. Nobody's attacked anymore either by any invisible creatures for the time being. And in the morning, in addition to picking up your clothes, the special ones that you had ordered, you manage, seemingly by chance, to find yourselves back in front of the Arcana Acquisitas. This strange, multi-dimensional shop that exists seemingly at random, and you seemingly find your way there by pure chance. When you enter, you notice immediately that something is different, because where the normal desk and corner office were, on the left side, where there was a wall, and then desk and corner office where you had previously done business with Basil, there's now an open space which is occupied by a towering machine, probably a good 30 to 35 feet tall metal suit of armor almost, with like a large opening in its chest. And it is currently dormant, but if you want to see what it looks like exactly, Google Marut. M-A-R-U-T. And this enormous metal thing stands there, mutely watching. And as you enter, you see Basil, much smaller, standing before the endless rows of shelves, next to a table upon which are laid out an array of beautiful, brilliant, spectacular items. And next to it, several contracts. Identical, seemingly for you to read, and one is set aside, probably the one that actually needs to be read, or that actually needs to be signed. Next to that contract lays just an enormous golden plate that is completely smooth, and you look at the shape of it, and you look at that thing, and it looks like that plate would fit exactly into the chest of that thing. He spreads his arms and he says, "Welcome back, friends. I hope you'll forgive me for taking some liberties in preparing for our possible impending business, and I really hope that will be the case. But I'm very excited that you're here, and please take a seat, have a look, or please peruse first. I've gone ahead and made the pre-selection of the items that you could possibly take away from here in the pursuit of our mutual goals today, if you choose to sign this contract. Now here, these are, and you'll see there in the contract, and he points at it, you will see there one item of superb legendary quality. That will be from these, and you see 10 items arrayed. Some are books, some are different items, but all of them spectacular. And the one of you can take one of these, and the rest of you may take one of these. And he points to the rest, and they are still fantastic items, but they're essentially, for game mechanic perspectives, they are very rare items. So one of you can take a legendary, so you can debate amongst yourselves, if you choose to sign the contract, who gets a legendary item and which one. And the rest of you can choose a very rare item from the ones that are laid out here. Now, I'm going to make the contract available to you on Roll20. It will be under your handouts, and it is lengthy. You don't have to read it now in full. Basically, between now and the next session, I hope that you'll spend some time reading it, so that you can actually decide, what you like, what you don't like. There's room to negotiate as well, as Basil would also tell you if you asked him. But this is the basic layout of the contract. It, in short, so that you get the highlights, it has a number of very distinct clauses of what is expected of you. It has a number of distinct clauses of the rewards, which are, among others, the legendary and very rare items that are laid out. And there are also very distinct clauses of what happens if the agreements are violated, including reference to the Marut and the Kolya route of Sigil, the City of Doors, in which this dispute would be resolved if either party were unhappy with it at any point. You also see, just at a quick glance, that in addition to the items, upon completion of this contract, you will continue to enjoy the above benefits, and you will be paid in a currency of your choosing in the amount equivalent to 250,000 guilders.
Lot of money. That is a lot of money.
Shit.
Barnack's never gonna let us not sign this contract. That's for sure.
So, you have time to read the contract, but I will quickly make you aware of the items that are on display here. So, first of all, is the Iron Flask. Now, the Iron Flask is an item that you guys had already seen in action, which is the item from which Barnack summoned the Demogorgon. It can trap any creature, or almost any creature, and it will keep it trapped inside, and when released, it will be friendly to you for 1 hour. So the one that Barnack had was probably a special version still, but this is still an incredible item, which is on display here. There's also a cubic gate. Now, whoops. Looks
Okay.
a little bit like this, and it's obviously a cube that allows you to traverse the planes of existence. Each side is keyed to a different plane of existence, and the owner can essentially travel to these. It recharges per day, and it has 3 charges total. So, it also includes a ring of spell turning, which I think is fairly self-explanatory, but it allows you to absorb spells and on a natural 20 saving throw, even redirect them to the caster. There is, I'm not going to explain this one further, but this is a Rod of Resurrection, also available, and I'll make this into a list as well for you guys, obviously. There's a legendary crystal ball, which, in addition to allowing you to cast scrying at will, with it, this one also allows for telepathy. So, in addition to being able to scry on a location, you can telepathically communicate with any creature within 30 feet of the sensor. There is also an item that's very familiar to Core. One Holy Avenger upon the table. There is one
My
Ring of
eyes light up when I
Invisibility.
see it.
One Ring of Invisibility. There's one Robe of the Archmagi. There's one Rod of Lordly Might, familiar to Tani. And the robe, of course, was familiar to Jean-Jacques. And there's one Plate Armor of Etherealness, which allows you to cast the Etherealness spell on yourself for 10 minutes or until you remove the armor once per day. So, I will also include in the list, of course, the very rare items, but I thought that the legendary items were especially interesting to you guys, because, of course, you have to choose one. And sorry, the books...
Just one.
Yeah, you have to choose one for all of you. So whichever one you guys decide is the most valuable to you, if you choose to sign the contract. And in addition, I misspoke. The books are among the among the other items, but just so you're aware, because I think those are quite interesting. There's one manual of golems iron. So you could potentially, if you found the gold, it's very expensive, but if you found the gold, you could create an iron golem for yourselves, which might be interesting. And there are 2 manuals of manual of gainful exercise, which will raise your strength score by 2, even above your maximum. So you could have 22 strength, if you wish. And there is a manual or a tome of leadership and influence, which will raise your charisma score in the same way. Now, among these items, you can choose 4, 1 for each that remains. So, I will provide that list to you guys to review for the coming week as well. But yeah, please come prepared with ideas, what your character will say, both about the text of the contract and the conditions thereof. They are negotiable. And potentially about your choices for items, because, of course, if you do choose to sign, then that will be the next point of order.
You said the conditions are negotiable. Or aren't
Well, yes.
negotiable.
Basil agreed to whip this up as a draft contract. He's done this, but you get the impression he can amend it quite quickly. So you guys have essentially come here to negotiate about the terms of the contract, should anything prove to be untenable for you to digest, essentially. So yes, that is what you find yourselves faced with. And of course, it also speaks to the magnitude of the task that he sets before you to free him from this incredible place. Will likely require many of the things that he's providing you with. And also, I don't know if I actually have the updated version, but I also was going to say he's going to directly provide you access to one uncommon item of your choice. So for next week, if you choose to sign the contract, pick an uncommon item and you will definitely get that one, regardless of what it is. Okay. So.
One question, Kevin.
Yes.
What happened with Appy? I don't remember. Did we? Like is he still on the boat?
No. You guys left. Sorry, no, you didn't leave. You guys went to find him, and he left the boat.
Oh, he left.
Yeah, he's gone.
I didn't remember that. He just left, and no one saw him.
He's gone at the moment.
So we. Yeah. Okay.
The prisoner that we still have aboard.
Yeah, we have a prisoner.
You have a prisoner, so decide that as well.
How didn't we turn them in when we landed?
You didn't actually, did you? To the harbor master?
I feel like we did, yeah.
I don't remember.
I thought you reported it, but you
didn't we agree that they would disappear on the ride over and that they fell overboard and died and that they could
right.
Yeah, you decided that, but that's not what actually happened with the prisoner, right? You still have the actual prisoner themselves.
I think we have them only in the sense of that they were confined to the boat because they didn't want to leave in Postizia, but that the boat would drop them. That's at least how I remember it.
Oh, I didn't realize you guys wanted to set her free because she had been one of these creatures that was attacking.
Yeah.
So
I think we agreed that we would set them free. I don't know.
Okay.
I thought that was
okay. Then that's my bad. If then I didn't.
Because I remember talking to the captain and getting them on board and making sure that the whole crew
the lies were told. I remember that, but the person was never actually released from the ship. So I'm going to say my misunderstanding will be Volja, the captain's misunderstanding, and she still has this person aboard, like confined and everything, and being fed. And she basically sent word to you guys like, "Hey, what am I supposed to do with this?
What to do?
Yeah.
Maybe she'll just leave like Appy." We ignore her long enough.
Wow.
No, but I think, I don't know if anybody remembers it differently, but I thought we agreed that we would set her free because it was
going to set her free.
Her fault.
It wasn't her fault.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Okay, interesting. Okay, then I'll assume that you guys have just sent word back. Yeah, just release her like we agreed. And
well, I think we can send word back to release her at the next port.
Okay.
Not in Postizia.
Okay, that works. All right, then Volja will do so. Good. Then that's resolved. All right.
Oh, this contract, bro. Oh, fuck.
Yes, I wrote an actual contract. I'm no lawyer, but
nice.
I put some thought into it. So I hope that you enjoy. But in any case, like I said, I will share. You have the contract. You can read it on Roll20. If you'd like, I will also share the PDF in the group, just so that you have it directly, and I will also share the list of the magic items that are involved in this transaction, so that you can make an informed decision for next time. So, thank you so much, you guys, for playing. That'll be the end of our session. I hope you guys all had a good time in the brothel.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was definitely something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You broke that silver-haired elf's heart, though, or half-elf.
Oh, core, man. Savage.
Still the best entry ever.
Yeah.
Are you also available?
So good, man. And that bloody smile through midway through. Wow.
Yeah.
Very strong game.
Yeah.
Very strong.
There might be an invitation for ale drinking later in your future.
This session was super fun, guys.
I'm very glad to hear that. So, to the stream, anyone who was watching, thank you so much. Remember to follow, and we're out of here until next week. So, bye-bye, guys.
Peace.